What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another video today. Got a special guest with me today, the troublemaker. In fact, no, you're not really a troublemaker now, you're a lot calmer now, aren't you? A lot more, And just before we start the video, I wanted to say I was nominated today the Football Content Awards, Best New Content Creator, so I appreciate everyone's support on that. And if you can go and vote as the winner, because I don't want to go to that Tottenham ground and come away empty-handed, you know what I mean? But you got a couple of nominations as well, didn't you?
Yeah, best podcast and best influencer.
Best influencer, man. That says a lot about you, man. I think you've calmed down a lot. A couple of years ago, I don't know if they'd have voted you for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't think they used to let me go to these events back in the day.
Yeah.
Because I used to be a bit reckless. But listen, it is what it is. I got an email telling me that I'd made the short list. I didn't know nothing about it. And I was like, okay. I was like, calm. Let's see if we can win a trophy at Tottenham's ground before they do.
I hit it for real. That's a decent category, though, man. You're in there. Troops, Goldbridge, even Laura Woods, man. I mean... That'll be a good.
There's some good competition in there. So listen, I'm in good company, shall we say? And it's good, man. It's all right. It's kind of shows the hard work that people put in to doing their channels and everything else. So it's just a bit of appreciation for that in many respects. So last year we won best podcast. I won best vlogger. So yeah, it was good. It was good. So, but this year I'm not in the best vlogging category because I don't vlog no more.
So, what happened? Did they stop?
No. I stopped doing the vlogs and that because obviously I take my youngest boy to the games now, so I just stopped doing them. And plus, it gives a chance for expressions to win it.
Oh man! So what have you been doing during lockdown, anyway, man?
Mate, do you know what? I've actually been busier than beforehand, just like doing everything. So I built my own studio now. Okay. I sorted out my garden as well. I did all of that. I've got like hot tubs, swimming pool, slides, you name it, man. And that ain't even for the kids.
No, that's just for you.
That's just for me.
Bro, you're doing well, bro.
Listen, at the end of the day, yeah, you see when that weather's nice, yeah, the weather's been so good. It's like, and the thing is, now I'm training as well, and now I'm like, got a goal to achieve and everything else. I've like every morning I'm up, I might go in the swimming pool or like just go and just relax a bit, get the kids out.
Yeah,
it's like before they start causing madness during the day and absolutely terrorizing my back garden. And do you know what I mean? It's good. It's nice to get out and just do things within your own confines because we can't go anywhere else. So, I invested in a bike as well. So it's like this morning I got up, I had breakfast, I was cool, chilled, and then I got on my bike and I done a 10K ride. Just quick little 30-minute 10K ride, just like bam. Feel good. And then I can relax for the day, get some work done, get some meetings sorted out on Zoom and stuff. And and then kind of plan ahead for a few things. I can't announce too much because Robbie hasn't obviously announced anything, but we're putting plans in place to start getting back to normal. And sooner rather than later, you're going to be seeing the podcast back in its normal format, where we're going to be in a room together, socially distanced, of course.
Yeah.
And I don't mind that because it means that I'm not close enough to give him a punch because he always. Do you know what I mean? So,
Robbie's training, man. I seen Robbie doing boxing training on his videos, man.
Listen. Robbie can train. Yeah, what he needs to be concentrating on is buying AFTV FC some shorts. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Look, we're only 5 minutes in and the man's starting already, innit?
Hey, listen, I told you lot, yeah. Robbie is the Stan Kroenke of AFTV FC. All right. He don't spend no money. He don't go to matches. Yeah. Where is he? He's building empires elsewhere. Do you know what I mean? He leaves.
Self-sustaining model.
Right?
Bring your
Scully,
own shorts, innit?
Yeah, you know what I mean? Scully is Josh to Robbie. You know what I mean? You go and deal with them. Go on, Josh. You go and deal with them. I'm too busy for these little people. Go on, off you go. Get to the final, and it's like, Gaffer, we ain't got enough shorts. Huh? Oh, all right, I tell you what, the starting 11 gets shorts, and when you come off as a sub, swap.
Bro, it's old school, innit, man? Back to the old school, man.
Bro,
Swap shorts.
Listen, this is Don Robbie, man. He can't even on the week of the final. At what point did no one go, Robbie, listen, we ain't got enough shorts, bruv. Yeah, it's a final, yeah. My man could just go, right, cool. Go down to Sports Direct, whatever. He would have got a free mug as well with it. Do you know what I mean? Big, massive jumbo mug. He could have gone and picked up a few pairs of white shorts and gone, all right, let's do it correct. Let's do it correct. No, you lot turned up with half a kit missing and telling players to eat grenade bars 20 minutes before.
Oh, do you know the worst thing? Yeah, you see, after that final, I'm down enough here. I'm thinking, bro, we just lost the final. I'm gonna have to deal with this for months from you and that. And I go on my phone and I got all these messages and I go on the gram and I see Robbie dancing in a bar mitzvah with one of them like little white hats on his head. And
you see, hey, listen, you see what it is, yeah? I heard that Robbie, right, because the whole plan of it, right, because I was meant to be at that bar mitzvah as well, right? I was the person who it was invited Robbie, Troops, and myself, I think it was. He wanted us all to attend. You know the amount of problems there were getting the date fixed for the game and everything. Yeah, and we couldn't go further than January because at that time we didn't know when Arsenal's scheduled fixtures would be and whether they'd be moved for TV and stuff. So we were like, this is the only available slot. I was like, Robbie, listen, you know where I'm going to be, man. You'll have to, I'll send my best wishes to the lad and I hope he has a great bar mitzvah and that. But that's where I'm going to be. I'm with my team, man. So he was like, okay, cool, no worries. He goes, I'm going to show my face, get there. And then I'm going to turn up a little bit later on, like during the first half. So I heard mans must have rung through and been like, what's the score? Heard they're getting slapped and was like, no, I'm staying at the bar mitzvah, man. I ain't coming down there, man.
You didn't want to see that.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay there, man. So listen, man, it is what it is, isn't it, man? It's men against boys on the night, man. And I've gone over it with everyone. I've bantered everyone. I've bantered Broads and Nash and everyone else and all that. And it was just, yeah, it was one of the easiest games we've ever had as a team in terms of how we sussed out very quickly the formation, the style, the strategy. And it wasn't really hard to go up against in that respect. It was very, very easy. And the fact that Scully changed his trusted formation to match mine said all I needed to see, which was that he was more scared about us than we were you guys. And, you know, I got all the respect in the world for you. Told you should have come and joined us from the beginning. You know what I mean? It's like, it is what it is, man. I set out with an objective and I delivered those objectives. I told everyone that I was going to come and take that trophy. I told everyone, you're going to wish you never run your mouth about me and my team. And we went and delivered. So, you know, what started out as just a bit of revenge to shut AFTV and United Stand Up has now turned into a full-time obsession, and we're going full-time next season. So, Yeah, can't wait, man. We can't wait. And listen, I see the comments. I see Broad saying he will never stop bantering about this final. I will ever stop. Ever. And you know what? It could get very, 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 very peak for AFTVFC, because myself and Robbie have already agreed that we're going to arrange another match for charity for the NHS. As soon as we're allowed to, we're going to do that. Now, obviously, there will be that bit of spice to it and that bit of, edginess to begin with. But what we want to do in that game is raise a lot of money for the NHS, show our appreciation for what they've done. And also, it gives an opportunity for the fan cam regulars to get minutes as well. So, like for AFTV, there will be like Troops playing and Ty and and for DTFC, I'm making an appearance. And bruv, if I score against you lot, game over.
Surely they can handle you.
Bruv, I'm gonna spin Nash like I'm Ayrton. Do you know what I mean?
No,
and by the time this game comes around, I'm gonna be fully fit. I'm in the shape of my life right now. The only thing, listen, we'll see. I can't wait, man. I tell you, if I score against AFTV, you might as well fold the club. Give the shorts back. Do you know what I mean?
There won't be many of them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. But the ones you got left, give them back. Just do it. And it's just like, so I'm looking forward to it because, listen, I already said to Kieran as well, I said, listen, every corner, every free kick, every penalty, I'm taking it. I don't care what it is. I'm taking it. If in the first 10 minutes of the game, we get a penalty, I'm going to be like, ref, sub, I'm coming on. I'm taking it. I'm scoring against TV.
This is why you're training, isn't it? The obsession continues, man. Man's getting fit for that game.
Continues, man. The obsession continues. Listen,
what is it you say? You do not know what you've started. And all.
Yeah, you have no idea what you've started. Do you know what I mean? Listen, man, I enjoy the I just enjoy the thrill of it all and the love of it. And we spoke on the phone a few weeks ago, and I was saying to you that I love Arsenal to death, man. I love this club so much. But there's a part of me that fell out of love with the club in terms of how it's being guided and how it's going. And what Sam Kroenke and all that are doing, it makes it very difficult to go every single week, week in, week out, and try and be positive and try and have a bright outlook on everything, because you feel so down and you go into away games and you drive in hundreds of miles at whatever times at night you're getting home and everything else. And deep in your heart, when you go to that game, we're not going to win. We're not going to turn up. When we go to Manchester City, not when we go there in a few weeks, but when we normally go to Manchester City or Liverpool or Old Trafford, as a fan going there, my head's going, buzzing. Let's do it. Come on, man. I know we can do it. But my heart's going, you're a fool. Why are you going to the game? You're going to be out after the game. Everyone's going to be eating popcorn and watching you rant and go mad on fan cams and that.
Yeah.
But it's having my own team kind of brought back a love that I was missing. It just brought something back. It just made me just appreciate football so much more. And it gave me so much more. And, let's be real, man. What have Arsenal given us to cheer about or to be happy about in recent years? They haven't. They haven't. All they've done is make us a laughing stock. They make us the banter club and everything else because we're losing our temper. People sit there and say, AFTV and the banter and this, that, the other. It's because of Arsenal that there's AFTV.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So at the end of the day, they've built such a platform now that, when there's defeats or bad defeats against a big side or whatever, then the views will go through the roof with everybody. But that's natural with life. You look at, we even go to the news right now, and you look at what's going on in America, for example, right?
Mm.
And I've seen loads of video clips of Black American people doing very good things in the protests.
Yeah.
Doing good things. You know, I've even seen Black people stopping white people from graffitiing buildings like Black Lives Matter or whatever, because they know they will be the ones that are blamed. You won't go, oh, white person done that graffiti. You'll automatically go, oh, black man did that. So there's so many good things that they're doing, but none of it's on the mainstream media. None of it's being shown because it doesn't get the views. It doesn't get the hits that they want. What gets them hits is Target being raided or Louis Vuitton being raided and seeing bare mans run out with Louis bags on their backs and stuff. Do you know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, I'm white. Yeah, but if they were looting outside mine and Louis Vuitton was getting raided, I'll be the first in there.
You're in there, innit? No doubt you're in there. I know you're in there.
I'm in there. I'm taking Louis belts, wrapping them all around my waist. I'm getting bags on my back. I'm taking everything. I'm going in Gucci. I'm running out of there with sliders and everything. Listen, do you know what I mean? So that's what I'm trying to say. It doesn't matter what it is in life. Everyone wants to feed off something that's explosive, something that's controversial. Do you know what I mean? And you've seen it over the last few days with America. And I'm using that as an example because that's the most recent reference, that all we've seen is the bad stuff.
Yeah.
You know, oh, look what these guys are doing. How can you loot a shop? That's not protesting or this, that, the other. Go and show what good they're doing. Show the other side. I've seen one video as well where a police officer was lost his group and he was all by himself. And I think it was in New York. I think it was in Brooklyn or somewhere like that in New York. But a group of them all surrounded this officer to make sure no one touched him, to protect him.
Yeah.
You know, that was being shared over social media and some little site. Why was that not across the big news, Sky News and all the rest of it? Because it won't get as many hits.
Yeah.
As the stuff that we reference. Do you know what I mean? So listen, man. I see Boards is saying man will put on a Gucci belt on the DT tracksuit. Rago! Listen, standard. I will fully do. Listen, I would do that. I would fully take enough to kit my whole team out in a Gucci kit.
In it, you would if you could, innit? Let me just read this. Jibs A says, Curtis and DT, how does Arteta strike the balance between attack and defense? Defense has improved a lot, but lack cutting edge up front. RIP Antonio Reyes.
Yeah. Do you know what? That's going to be Arteta's biggest dilemma to sort out. I think that when he first came in, what he wanted to do was just sort out the defense.
Yeah,
everybody said, you know, I've said it, you've said it, everyone said it, that, you know, we've got a team full of clowns in defense. Yeah. And I think it was Gary Neville that famously turned around and said that you can't coach these defenders. But yet Mikel Arteta came in and actually showed that you can coach them. You know, the way that Mustafi has turned his whole the feeling towards him from the fans around is absolutely insane, because, you know, Mustafi could post a photo so innocently or about a win or just nothing bad, and the comment section would be like, get out of our club, you're this, you're that, abuse. Now, as soon as like he comments something, people are like, you're an idol, you're a legend, sign a new contract, do this, and a lot of that's gone to the way that he's performed to change people's perspective of him. And yeah, I do still believe we need a lot better than Mustafi.
100%, yeah.
But, you know, it's nice that he's been able to turn the fans' opinion of him around, and it shows that they can be coached. And the only detriment to that is that, yeah, we have lost an attacking sense to our game. But I think the most important thing initially was to get the balance right, get the defense sorted out, get the balance in place, and then we can start to express ourselves once the defense becomes more comfortable. Plus, I don't actually think that a 4-2-3-1 will be Mikel Arteta's preferred formation.
What do you think he'll do?
He could go with 3 at the back.
You think so?
Yeah, I think he could go with 3 at the back. And that's why he likes a left-sided centre-back a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
But, you know, he's going to have learned a lot at Manchester City, and he's going to want to put his own style on things as well. But you look at the way that Manchester City play as well. They can adapt their formation in and out of transition, and when they have the ball and when they don't have the ball. So we may set up as an orthodox, you know, formation, but then when we've got the ball, we revert into one formation, and when we haven't got the ball, we revert back into another. And that's what I think that we've been missing. We've been very rigid in our formation, which is like a 4-2-3-1, and everyone kind of stays in their positions.
Yeah.
And that's when you're with the ball or without the ball. There seems to be no fluidity and no kind of cohesion with the side. But what you need is a team that can actually revert into 2 shapes and two moments to deal with it. And ultimately, you need players that have got a footballing brain to be able to carry out those instructions on a pitch.
Yeah.
You know, I think that at the moment, Mikel Arteta just wants to get a base, build on that base, see who's got the brain and who can actually do what he wants. And then the ones that can't, off you go. I'm going to bring new ones in. This is what I'm going to do, etc., etc. So it's fascinating to see. But it's going to take time, man. It's going to take time. We're not going to be, you know, this is not going to be an overnight fix. We're not going to be challenging for league titles within the next couple of seasons or anything. And I've told people that you just be prepared for it, because it's not going to happen anytime soon. It's going to take a good 3-4 years of building. It took Liverpool 3-4 years of building under Klopp, you know, and the reason why the disadvantage we've got in comparison to Liverpool is that they had a Philip Coutinho, for example, to sell for £135 million, which they could go and reinvest on a centre-back and a goalkeeper, which were 2 areas that they were weak in, and they knew they needed strengthening. If you go,
we had that though, didn't we, bruv? With Alexis, we should have got 80-90 million for him.
Well, there you go. That's prime example. So in that respect, that's our only downfall. But if you look at a lot of the rest of the team, you know, it's Trent Alexander-Arnold come through the academy. All right, you could replicate that with the likes of Saka, for example. He's our fullback that we've brought through the academy, right? They bought Robinson from Hull for 8 million pound, whatever it was. We bought Tierney. Yes, it was 20 million pounds, but given the player and the experience and everything, cool. They bought in Jordan Henderson. You know, the guy's just won Player of the Year and he's lifting Champions Leagues and everything. And no matter what you think about him, he does the job that Liverpool require him to do.
He does. He's underrated.
And that's the thing. And so, yeah, even when they bought Mo Salah in, the first thing that everybody said was, oh, yeah, he might have done it at Roma, but Serie A is different to the Premier League. He's already tried in the Premier League and he couldn't do it. So he ain't going to be able to do it again. What a waste of £35 million. Do you know what I mean? When they bought Sadio Mane, they bought him from Southampton. Everyone was like, why are they spending more money on a Southampton player? Yeah, it's all right, but Liverpool are never going to get to that level with the likes of Mane. Do you know what I mean? So they had to get the right blend and the right mixture and have a bit of luck along the way. And it's all worked out well for them. So we don't need to go out and spend 40, 50, 60 million pound on every position. We've got a lot of quality players in positions. If we keep Aubameyang, we've got, for me, one of the best strikers in the Premier League. You know, Pepe, for me, I can't wait to see him. Now he's fully adapting. I was starting to see signs of what he could do anyway before the window shut, before the lockdown and everything. But I'm really excited to see what he can do. Really excited. And, you know, Leno, we got one of the best goalkeepers in the Premier League. Tierney, I rate the guy highly, rated him at Celtic, and it was just a freak accident as to why he got injured. And, you know, if we do bring in like a Thomas Partey, for example, like the reports are saying, because the reports are all saying that he wants to join Arsenal, that his mind's made up. He's
going to play it.
But, you know, if we can strike a deal or whatever, then bringing a Thomas Partey into the sides changes the dynamics of the team massively. Yeah. All of a sudden, we've got someone where I'm pretty confident in saying the rest of the Premier League will actually look and go, boy, you know what? They actually got a player. They got a big player. And we, you know what I mean? You've got to pay your respects to that. So I think that I've had this conversation with Robbie. I think there'll be one big signing, like a Thomas Partey. And then I think after that, it's going to be very much either loan deals or academy, or Mikel Arteta's got to be very smart in the transfer market and find a gem.
Find a gem, innit? I mean, everyone talks about the Arsenal defence, but for me, I think the midfield's actually more of our problem than the defence, because I think, like you said, Tierney's a good left back. I mean, Bellerin I'm not a huge fan of, but they'll give him another chance, I think, because he's had a long-term injury. But the midfield, to me, lacks that balance. I mean, Ceballos a good player, but I don't think it's really worked for him.
No.
I still think we need legs in there. Maybe
you know what? You know what it is we need in midfield? We need a goal scorer. That's what we need.
Definitely.
We need
Coutinho.
Well, yeah, Coutinho. Or we would have done well with a player like Aaron Ramsey. Amazing, isn't it? But the Mesut Ozil situation. Like, this is why I tell people. This is why I'm telling people to be patient right now and just look. If I can be patient, then you know what I mean. Jesus, anyone can be patient. But in a year's time, we went through the list of players that are out of contract at the end of next season. In terms of where you're going, it doesn't really matter. You're not going to sign them.
Yeah.
Mesut Ozil's going to be out of contract. Socrates is out of contract. We thought David Luiz was out of contract, but he is now. So that could be a blessing or not, dependent on what style or what Mikel Arteta wants to do.
Would you get rid of him now?
I would get rid of others before him, to be honest. I thought he was doing really well under Mikel Arteta, and I think he also would suit three at the back very well. His best ever season at Chelsea was in a three at the back when they won the league under Conte. And I think that his experience is invaluable. And I think that he's also helped the likes of Martinelli settle well in London and Arsenal and the Brazilian connection and everything else. So I think he's a good person to have around the dressing room.
Yeah.
You need to get rid of a lot more, you know, behind him first. I think there's 3 or 4 players in that defensive area that we need to shift. But we might not be able to shift a lot until next year. And I think me and Robbie done it on a podcast a couple of weeks ago. I think the players that are out of contract, I think we'll be saving nearly £1 million a week in wages when they're off our wage bill.
Yeah.
And like, that is absolutely monstrous amount of wages to be saving on. And some people don't understand the basics of transfers. They see a fee. They go, oh, this guy costs £45 million. Just pay the money. Just pay the money. Just pay it. You know what I mean? There's a lot more that goes into that. You've got to look at the weekly wages. What's the yearly rate for our wages? Then you've also got to consider agent fees. Then you've got all these endorsements that they've got to have included. They've got to have image rights and, you know, all these things that go into contracts and everything else that go in. And there's so much, man. Players ask for some of the most random stuff now. I know a Premier League player that's got a specific in his contract as to where he lives.
Wow. That's crazy.
Because it means that he gets to see his family more than if he had to move closer to where the club is. So that's part of a contract. And that's like, you got to think to yourself, like, there's so much involved in it, man. It's not just a case of he costs that much, go spend the money, job done. It ain't like that. No. So if we free up £1 million nearly in wages per week, my God, we can we can cut back on so much that we shouldn't have been spending in the first place, because our wage structure is awful.
Terrible.
It's we're paying players like we're winning the Champions League each season.
Mm.
Do you know what I mean? So it's
Big money.
I said it, man. We've got players that are, playing lemonade football, but they're on champagne money.
I don't know if there's that much spark in it, bro.
Listen,
I mean,
you know what it is? Do you know what it reminds me of? It's like, when you see about 5-6 men go to a club and buy one bottle of syrup, and they like,
yeah. We've all done that back. We've all done that back in the day.
Listen, each one of them takes a photo with it to put on the Insta, to be like, yeah, check me, stunting, got my. Shut up, man. For a start, the mixers that are all on the table are free.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're an idiot if you go to a club spending £130 on something you can go and get in Tesco for 25 quid.
Yeah, them days are done, bro. None of that.
Get out of here, man. Get out of here.
But yeah. So what do you think? Do you think we got to be patient for a year then? Because realistically, we're not going to spend big money this summer, are we? Like you said, we might get one big player.
No, I think that we've got, if Mikel Arteta gets his way in certain things, and we brought in a Thomas Partey, for example, and then added bits and pieces around it with what we've got, I think that we can comfortably be able to challenge to get in the Champions League. Ultimately is the first step, which is to get back in the Champions League. If we get into it this season, somehow manage to claw back them 8 points, or if 5th place is open, dependent on what happens with Man City, then it could progress things a little quicker, because we'll have Champions League money and that carrot to dangle in front of players of Champions League football. But I'm kind of looking at it as a building process. This break hasn't helped, but also it might have helped, because Mikel Arteta might have had this time to really, look at where we're strong and where we're weak within the side. Because he didn't have that long to get going and work with the players. He had like a couple of weeks less than that from leaving Man City to going to Arsenal, to having to try and implement his ideas. Whereas now he's had 3 months to go through all the footage of the games that have already been played and go, right, see you. This is your weakness. Look at this game here. Look what you did here. This is what I want you to do, and this is what you can't do. So he's actually been given the time to sit down and actually develop the squad a little bit more. And ultimately, like we said, it takes the players to take it on board. They're the ones ultimately that have to, register everything in their mind and actually go and implement on the pitch. But the break could have done us good in that respect. But I just want us to be competitive next season. I want us to get back into the Champions League. I want us to start changing the mentality at the club. I want us to stop this whole, we're going to a top 6 side, okay, we're going to lose. Because us as fans, we got that mindset, but it also feels like sometimes the players have got that mindset. They're like, oh, we're going to Anfield tomorrow. Yeah, all right.
Yeah, we're going to get slapped.
You know what I mean?
I want to ask you, because obviously, like, you're talking about the rebuild, and I get that, but the problem for me over the years, every time we've had a chance to build on what we've got, like when we had Sanchez and Ozil, we needed a top striker for years. We stuck with Giroud, and then when that was falling apart, they go and get Lacazette and Aubameyang. You think we needed that a few years earlier.
Yeah.
Are we going to hold on to Aubameyang? I mean, we were talking off camera. There's this rumor that we've offered him a new deal. And you said what you said. I mean, if we were to lose Aubameyang now, I don't see where we're going as a club if we let him go. Do you think we're going to keep him? Do you think we'll keep him?
We ain't losing Aubameyang. He's staying.
And the fact he follows you on Instagram, right? I'm really hoping you're saying this with like some sort of evidence, Mate, don't give me false hope, I'm telling you.
Listen, at the end of the day, right? A lot of people have got to understand one thing as well, right? And this is something that people seem to have missed out on, is that Aubameyang has never once turned around and said that he wants to leave Arsenal. Not once. But he has come out and said, don't believe the rumours.
Yeah.
Noise. He even commented on an AFTV post where AFTV were relaying a transfer rumor of Aubameyang or something. And it was, I think the rumor was Aubameyang will only sign a contract extension if Arsenal get Champions League football. And AFTV relayed that. And Aubameyang turned around and commented on it straight away and said it's lies. Complete lies. So when he's needed to come out and say something, he's come out and said something. He said, don't believe what you're reading. It's all lies. Do you know what I mean? And at the end of the day, do I blame a man for wanting to keep his personal business and contract negotiations to himself? No. Why would he advertise it to the world? Just to make some of us happier? You know, what will be will be. Let them do what they're doing. These are huge contracts we're talking about. Again, it's not a case of a man just turning around and signing a piece of paper and saying, yeah, it's cool. There's a lot.
I think as Arsenal fans, we're pessimistic, man. We've been down this road. You know, we see Van Persie go United, Fabregas leave, Nasri leave, Sanchez. So we're like, yo, until he puts pen to paper and we see it announced, we feel uneasy about it. And
listen, I know what you're saying, but the thing is with him is that since he's joined the club, he's one of the most genuine players that I've ever met. Yeah. And what I will say is that I've met Aubameyang quite a few times now, and I've had conversations with him. I've talked to him way from cameras and other stuff, and he literally will give you the time of day. He will literally talk to you. And he understands things that go on. And I think that maybe coming from a background that he's come from, where in Germany, the fans demand so much. Like, if you play poorly in Germany, like, they'll chase you down the road in your car.
Yeah.
You know, in this country, I've seen it. We could lose a game, and there's people waiting outside the Emirates for Aubameyang to pull out so they can take a photo with him.
Yeah.
You know, there's some countries, you lose a game, no one wants a photo with you. They're chasing you down the road. Do you know what I mean? So you've got to pick your performances up. So the thing is with him is that, you know, what I like about him is that he's bridged the gap between supporters and players again, because there was a huge gap between
massive,
you know, the players and everything else. And he's come along and he's bridged that gap. And, you know, little things, when we was in Singapore and like the height of the whole Obama blood clot Yang thing come about with Troops like that. And I remember there was me, Troops and Robbie standing there. And like the day before we played, I can't remember who it was. I think it was Atletico Madrid now. And he gave me a shirt. And he knew who I was by this point, and we'd spoken and stuff. And when he was coming up, he was doing his autographs, and he seen me and he went, hey, he was like, how you doing? You all right? And I said, thank you for the shirt and that. He said, listen, bruv, no problem, man. And then he noticed Troops was there and Robbie was there having a laugh. And then there's that video of when he come back and he just looked at us and he went, about my blood clot, yeah. And it was all of a sudden that little thing there, to fans all around the world, they resonated with that. They were like, oh my God, did he just do that? Like,
that's the connection, isn't it? It's a connection with the people again.
You know, you might not like Troops' style of speaking, shall we say, his slang, the London street slang or whatever it is. You might not understand what blood clot is. I think if some of you knew what a blood clot actually was, then you might actually be... Do you know what I mean? But at the end of the day, you know, little things like that just bridged a gap. It bridged a gap between the fans. And the one thing that I noticed Aubameyang doing, and I've noticed him do this everywhere, is that players now, they always have like club representatives following them when they're like going out to coaches or on tours or something, and they're always in their ear. Come on, hurry up. We've got to get going. Get on the coach. Don't speak to no one when you walk out. Do this, do that. Everything's proper, like, you know what I mean? And the same thing when we was in Singapore, the players were being told, sign 1 or 2 autographs, get on the bus. Aubameyang would go from one end and literally do the whole entire row and make sure every fan that was waiting got a photo or an autograph. The bus was waiting. There was a woman there constantly going, Pierre, come on. And he'd be like, chill, man.
Wait, yeah.
And he was there just doing what he's doing. And then all of a sudden, other players then started going, you know what, all right, cool.
I'll do it, yeah.
And they started doing it. And then, do you know what I mean? And it was like, there's so many things that happen with players and that. And you know what? AFTV gets such a bad reputation for it, right? And I'll tell everyone a story that happened, right? Quickly, this story. What was the game we played out in France in the Europa League? Was it Rennes?
Rennes, yeah. 3-0 we lost.
Yeah, 3-1, wasn't it? Ishmael,
yeah, 3-1.
Right at the end. Now, we were literally leaving the stadium and flying on a plane at the same time as the players, right? We had a plane straight back. When we got to the airport, they turned around and they said, right, you can't go in because the players are coming and they've got to be bagged in first, sorted, and they're off. So we were like, all right, cool. So we were all told to go inside the airport, wait in there, this and that. Me and Troops, turned around and just kind of like snuck our way around a little bit, got past the area, and we was now standing at the gate bit where the players come in. No one even said a word. So like next thing, like the players were all coming off the coach and Aubameyang was sitting at the back and he looked dejected, like so dejected. And he looked at me and Troops from out the window and we were like, pick your head up. And he was like that. Players started coming off. Leno come up to me first and I said to him, pick your head up. I said, we go again, pick your head up. And then even the likes of Mustafi and that, we were like, pick your head up, man, pick your head up. Aubameyang come over, hugged me and Troops and was like, yeah, I know. And it's the lowest I've ever seen him, like, because he's so happy normally.
Yeah.
But they went on. And as they went through, and they went through the security thing, everyone else that was on this plane, this group of Arsenal fans that were all with us, right? Older generation, should we say?
Yeah.
They were all waiting in this line and you could see X amount of meters down for where the players come through. As soon as the players started walking through, they started booing them, started having abuse. And I think there was one video that went online that showed that.
Yeah, I remember.
And it was like some of the things, get out of our club, you fucking SCUNT and all this, that. And it was like, and I was sitting there and I was like, can you imagine if that was AFTV?
You'd be annihilated for that, bro.
You know what I mean? You'd be annihilated, absolutely crucified. Oh, look at these parasites waiting at the airport to cuss our players and this, that, the other. But there's no mention. And there were people that saw me and Troops with the players and encouraged them. But nobody wanted to report that story. Nobody wanted to.
Like you were saying earlier, man, certain things don't fit the agenda, do they? You know, they're not going to report that. Let me just read this quick. Jibs A said, with Tierney back, how do you see Arteta playing Saka further forward? How do you see the options now that everyone is fit, in particular in attacking areas? Big up Jibs, by the way. Because me personally, you know, I actually think Saka's look better at left back than left wing. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
The thing is that Mikel Arteta has come out a couple of weeks ago and he really praised Tierney.
Yeah.
And said he's really looking forward to working with him. So you've got to presume that Tierney's going to be first choice.
Yeah.
I also think that towards the break, there were a couple of games when Saka started to look really tired.
Yeah, he was
being used so much because Kolasinac was injured and Tierney was injured. So for an 18-year-old kid to be playing at the top level, and he was, you know, a lot of players were playing in the Premier League and then resting for the FA Cup or the Europa League.
Yeah,
but he was playing in the Premier League, then having to play in the Europa League and play. So I don't think that. I think it kind of caught up with him a little bit, but I'd really like to see him in the attacking third because there's no question in his delivery, double figures for assists for the season. You don't get that if you don't know what you're doing. That's not luck. That's not luck. You know what I mean? Luck would be Broad scoring a goal in the Blood Brothers series.
No. Don't go down that. Don't go down that road, yo, bros. Listen, man. Oi, bros. Oi, bros done a lot of dirty work for me in that league. You know, I'm telling you, a lot of them goals came from his work.
Hey, he also done a lot of dirty work for the council by cutting them trees down.
No, man, no, bro. Broad's a confident striker, though, man. We know that. When Broads is confident, man, he bags goals, man. I think his confidence was low.
Yeah, I wonder whose fault that was.
Oh, well. He's here as well. He's here.
He knows.
It's going to FIFA now, and we got his FIFA blood brothers now.
Yeah, we're taking each other on at FIFA, man. It's going to be interesting. Is there, like, I don't even know, man, but like I presume that Robbie's going to use some of the AFTV players, as some of them, but it's you know what, it's going to be a bit of fun. It's, you know what I mean. This one, don't get me wrong, I want to win.
Yeah,
I want to win,
but it's not the same, is it?
Nah, if I don't win, trust me, I'll be able to sleep at night. I'll be fine. I'll get on with my life.
Yeah.
But that Blood Brothers thing, listen, I was like a mad scientist up at night going through tactics, like literally everything. When you lot used to see me turn up to games, and you'd be like, why is DT here? Because I was doing what any manager of any football club should do, which is look at your opponents, look at the formations, look at the way they play, look at their strengths, look at their weaknesses. And people laughed at me. Yeah, okay, cool.
But I said this to you on the phone, didn't I? That, look, for me, we won that league game, and I think our general attitude was, we've beaten them already, we'll beat them again. And you spent the next 6 weeks playing games, training, preparing. You brought in a new player, and, you know, all that collectively, I think, got the better of us. And like you said before, we changed formation, which, who am I to disagree with a coach? But I believe we should have stuck to what we were good at. And we tried to match you, and it didn't work. So
I like that. I like that bottom comment. Why don't you highlight that one?
Free transfer, yeah, is that it?
You know what I mean? Free transfer.
Free transfer. Not even no signing on fee or nothing.
No, man. Hey, listen, at the end of the day, listen, players should be paying me to join me about transfer fees. I heard you're out of contract anyway.
I don't know if we ever had contracts, but I don't know what's going on. But
you don't even know if you've got a kit, let alone contract. Dear God Almighty! But nah, listen. At the end of the day, man, I'm looking forward to the FIFA thing because it's going to be a bit of fun.
Yeah.
We had a managers meeting a week or so ago, and it was so funny. Like, Robbie was getting absolutely hammered in it because people are asking, does he even know what a PS4 control pad looks like?
I bet he's got one of the Atari ones, hasn't it? Like,
like this. And be like, man's got an Atari ST with a joystick, man. And Robbie was just like, man. And then like they asked the question, they were like, so who do you think's going to finish bottom? And literally the whole place just went silent for about 3-4 seconds. And then everyone at the same time just went, you, to Robbie. And he's just like, oh, fucking hell, man. He's going mad. But listen, and the thing about it is that everyone thinks that I'm up to something as well.
Which you probably are.
Never know.
You're probably signing some, like, you know, some top level FIFA player to come and play for you.
The thing is, a very good friend of mine is an esports player, and he's very, very, very high up. He's an Arsenal fan, actually, and I've actually taken him to a few games. I've actually picked him up. He lives around the corner from Tottenham's ground, ironically.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's serious. But I said, no. I said, I don't need to do that. I don't need buy Curtis a new pair.
Wait, I don't wear Adidas boots, bruv.
What's this?
How much did
you pay?
You're always up to something. Always up. Look at
Hey, Broads, listen, man. You know I'm always up to something. I've always got to try and get that little edge on everybody else. I've always got to try and have one up on someone. And it is. But I said this to Robbie. I said, it's going to be fun playing AFTV in United Stand. I said, but they're not who I actually want to beat in this tournament. I want to beat Expressions.
Yeah.
Because he's the only person that I've not handed an L to.
So you want to give him the L?
Yeah, because I've not competed with him in anything before. And United Stand, we beat them 7-0. You know, we beat you, and we've beaten Hackney Wick. So yeah, we're like, yeah, you know what? Let's add someone new to the list, to the victims board.
Add another one.
Add another one, and plus he's Tottenham.
Oh yeah, and he streams FIFA as well, don't he? So
yeah, he's decent.
I bet he thinks he's a bit of a player as well.
Yeah, he is. Let's see, Boards is reckoning that we need to bring in financial fair play because I'm going to splash the cash.
Yeah, I know what you're. I knew this straight away. As soon as they said FIFA, I said he'll be signing some esports player or something, man. Someone will be joining. Oh, so you know what we were saying. So obviously DTFC, you're going into non-league next season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's obviously going to clash with Arsenal Saturdays and whatever. So are you going to be going to Arsenal less or?
Yeah, well, if we're playing when Arsenal are playing, I'm going to be at the DT games.
Okay, so you're going to miss games now.
But at the end of the day, we don't play a lot on Saturdays anyway.
No.
So, and one of the bonuses is with the league is because we're ground sharing, we've got an actual stadium next season. But one of the benefits of that is because they've actually got a first team in the Ishman League, however you pronounce it. Or is it Ishman League or?
It's something like that, isn't it? I'm not going to try and say it.
It's one of the high-up non-league teams. Do you know what I mean?
What you mean? Yeah.
So because of that, obviously, they get the priority of the Saturday fixture. So the league have to work our fixtures around so they rotate. Yeah, but there will be a few times as well where there will be a clash. So our game will get moved to a Friday night, which actually benefits us as well. And a lot of my players are up for that because they're like, play on a Friday, we've got all weekend to ourselves.
That's not bad, really, is it?
You know what I mean? So it's actually not too bad, but yeah, there might be the odd game here or there, but I'm gonna manage my team, man, and I'm gonna be there through the whole hog of it, and I'm not, I just don't think it would look right if I'm trying to get players to be committed and to achieve certain goals, and then there's games where I don't turn up.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's
not a good look.
No, the players understand that there'll be training sessions that I can't reach, but that's why I have assistant managers. I've got assistant managers, I've got fitness coaches, I've got everything. So they'll be able to do all that each week. They don't need me there constantly if there's a clash of a game, and they understand that and they're fully good with that. But actual games itself, I just don't think it would look right.
No.
Oh yeah, Gaffer's not here tonight because he's going to watch Arsenal lose at Anfield. But, he wants you to do this, or we end up having Zoom meetings in the dressing room.
Yeah, it's not the one.
It's not going to happen, man. So I want to be fully committed. If I'm going to do it, like with anything that I do, if you're going to be committed, then you've got to do it.
You've got to do it.
Yeah, so,
So we got hold on. The strike partner's there.
Oh, look, here he is.
Here he is. Yo, what's that do-rag all about, man? You braiding or you getting waves on there?
You know what it is? He's trying to look like Jake. He's trying to look like my player.
What did you say, Derek?
Now he's trying to look like, hey, come on, Dylan. Don't try none of that.
Oh, sir. Oh, whoa.
Yeah. Don't try it with me,
Listen, I'm not even gonna bait your name, minute. I'm not even gonna bait your name, fam.
I could care less, but listen, don't you worry about me, man. You want to try that one with me? Yeah, listen, I know.
Yo, bro. Let me just read this quick, man. Jibsy, big up, man. He said, rest of the season, do you think Cedric Suarez can cement a place at right back with Bellerin not so convincing? Would a proper right back elevate Pepe's game further? Good question.
I'll let Broads answer it because I actually spoke about this in the podcast. But I said it might be controversial, but I think that he's actually better than Bellerin.
I think he's a better defender for sure. What do you reckon, Broads? Cedric Suarez.
I mean, yeah, I think Bellerin, a lot of the time we think he's a good defender because his recovery run is so good. But actual defending right now, I don't know. I would say Cedric, you know, and obviously Bellerin's done well. He served the club well, but, you know, maybe some people will disagree. But I feel like maybe, get someone in like Cedric, because right back hasn't been a position that anyone's really held down properly. We've had Debussy sometimes, we've had Bellerin, we've had Maitland-Niles and whatnot, and they've all done the best they can. But maybe someone like Cedric, who's been doing well, you know.
Yeah, for real. You know, I was going to ask you as well, DT. Obviously, I know you're close to Troy Deeney and that, and he wasn't going to come back, and then he is coming back. Apparently, he was ill today and didn't train. I know you had a lot of arguments with Robbie about the whole restart thing. What's your thoughts on it? Obviously, now it's coming back. No new cases apparently last week. So,
listen, the arguments that I had with Robbie were over. It was the moral side of things, and it wasn't right, and it was. We need to get the death rate down in the UK a lot less than what it is before this starts in 3 weeks' time. And you've also got to remember as well, we've got to hope and pray there ain't a second fight.
And that's the worry, isn't it?
That's the worry, because you see what people are doing out there and going to the beach and doing this and doing that. And yeah, that's not great. But if it's safe, then so be it. I don't want to talk too much about Troy's personal stuff, because that's like between him and, you know, what he's doing. I spoke to him, had conversations with him about everything, and I respect his privacy. But yeah, he's a lot more comfortable about going back now than he was a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah. Broads, turn your thing down a bit. It's echoing a little bit.
Sorry, bro.
No, it's all right, man. It's all right.
Is it better now, yeah?
Yeah, it sounds better now. Yeah, a lot better.
So it's one of those ones, man. At the end of the day, he was a lot of the questions he was asking were for black footballers in general, because apparently the virus, they say, you know, has a different effect on someone with an ethnic minority, like the background and everything else. So he wanted to know, like, is it, you know, don't just sit there and say it's the same for all. Can you definitively say that it's safe for black people to come back and play?
Yeah.
So that's what he wanted to know. So he's obviously got the reassurances from the scientists and the people involved and everything else. And, you know, he's heavily involved in a lot of the meetings because he's captain.
Yeah.
So, you know, and he was one of the ones, along with Jordan Henderson, that set up this whole, you know, giving page for the NHS from the players and stuff. So, you know, captains alike and everything else, they're all in group meetings and that. Because trust me, I've tried. Because I've said to Troy, I said, listen, when you're having a little group chat, and you've got Aubameyang in there, I said, slip me in, let me know so I can have a little walk. And he's like, bro, I ain't doing nothing for you. So it's, listen, man, he's got his reasons. His ultimate reason why he didn't want to play was his little boy. And, you know, I know that his son was born prematurely, over a month prematurely as well. Wow. It was a shock to me. He sent me a picture. when he was born, and he was just like surprised. I was like, what? Hold on a minute. Wasn't even meant to be due till next year.
Yeah.
So, and he's got breathing problems, man. You can't
argue with that.
You can't, man. You can't sit there and tell someone that they shouldn't be worrying about their family, their life. Nah, man. Sorry. I don't care who it was. It could even be a Tottenham player. It's not because I know him and he's a friend. It's as a father, I'm speaking as a parent. Do you know what I mean? And as a human being, it could be a Tottenham player. It could be Dele Alli. It could be Harry Kane. People that I detest. But if you're protecting your family, I'll back you 110% all day, man. All day, man.
You have to.
Of course, man. The boy is like 5 months old, man. Of course, he wants to protect him. Jesus, man.
It's crazy that he was getting abuse for it. Like I see in the comments, like, man, hammering him. I'm thinking, what kind of angle are they seeing this from?
Well, this is you know what? This is the thing. He saw it. He has seen it, but that's why he stays off social media as well, because it doesn't matter how strong-minded you are with something. Like, he's given me so much advice about how to calm myself down and about how to not engage all the time when someone says something. And I have people that insult my dead brother and all these kind of things. So he's taught me a hell of a lot. And I've turned around and I've said to him, and I'm like, how do you deal with that, man? How do you I just can't focus my head around it. And he's like, bruv, he goes, rightly or wrongly, it might not be something that people agree with, but you actually become immune to it. Like, it's normal to ignore it. It shouldn't be, because it shouldn't be happening in the first place, but you become so accustomed to just being able to block it out. It doesn't mean anything. What are you going to achieve? Because you're never going to find the person. Half of the time, they probably don't even live in this country. You know, you look at the abuse that Jamie Vardy got for his 3-year-old daughter. When Leicester won the league, his wife put a picture with his daughter inside the stadium with like a Leicester shirt on and everything, with daddy on the back and that. Yeah. And then a couple of people started making comments, like sexual references, what they were going to do to her. And I was like, what the fuck, man? And then the police got involved. There was a big thing about it. And they done all the tracing and that. And they traced them back to, I think it was India or somewhere like that, where they traced the IP address back and all that. There's nothing they could do to them. They're not in this country. You couldn't bring charges against them, do anything. There's some sick people out there, man. Just it's crazy, isn't it, man? It's crazy.
You know what? Like on a personal level for yourself, I think, you know, because I used to see you have all these arguments on Twitter and stuff like that, and I used to think, you know what, like, you're doing well, you know, you're doing well for yourself, you've been successful. You need to learn to ignore all that. And I see an interview where Robbie was talking about you, and he was saying, you know, he was disappointed we lost the Blood Brothers thing, but he was saying, you know, on a personal note, he feels like you being so focused on that has actually helped you grow as a person and made you kind of like not more mature, but a lot more calm and a lot more focused. And I think we're seeing a better you, and I think that benefits you and will benefit you long term. So
yeah, no, it will. And do you know what kind of changed things for me is because obviously I've got to have a clear head when I'm managing, and I've got to be able to, you know, not just give the hairdryer treatment. I've got to be able to earn the players' respect first and foremost, so that when I do go off on one and they're not playing right, they're not just going to look at me and think, what the fuck's this guy going on about? And not respect what I'm saying. They're going to take notice and they listen. So, you know, for me, and also I've got my kids coming to the game. So I've got younger kids now as well. And, you know, people don't realize I've got 3 young kids, you know, but I keep them out of the spotlight. People might only think that I've got 1. I've got 3. And that's not including Kieran, even though he's a big kid at heart. But it's like, I just keep them out of the spotlight because I don't need them. I don't need to put them in there. I don't need to plaster their face all over the place or anything else, because I know that there'll be some sick individual that will use that to try and get at me. But what I have learned to do now is to, 90% of the time, just ignore it, block, move on, and that's it. And yeah, you might have the odd bad day. Everyone has one of them days where someone might say something and you just like, nah, I've had enough today. I'm just going to go and ruin someone. And you just literally destroy them.
Yeah.
And half of the time I sit there late at night and I think, oh, man, I wish I never retaliated now. I gave him what he wanted. I gave him his minutes in the spotlight. Do you know what I mean? But, yeah, I've just learned to calm down a hell of a lot and just realize that that's not real life. What's real life is my football team, my family, my children. That's real life, and I wanna achieve things with this team so that when my young children grow up, they can look at that and they can see what I've built for them, and they've got their homes and they've got all these things that I've worked hard for, and they can go, yeah, you know what, something to look to, you know what I mean? So something to be proud of as well. And there's going to be moments when I lose my temper and stuff. That's in my nature. But, I don't want everything about me to be losing my temper. Yeah. I want there to be another side as well where people can go, you know what, that's football. He will lose his temper. But deep down, he's a good person. So
that's what it's all about, man.
You only lose your temper when broke up your players, eh?
Listen, you can broke up my players, yeah, but we broke up your whole team. You know what I mean? Listen.
And my connection went for a bit.
Yeah, I don't know what kind of Wi-Fi you're using over there,
Hey, you know what it is?
Yeah,
I actually think Broads is on a bike and he's pedaling just to get it going.
For the connection.
You know what I mean? But it's like, look, listen, Broads, one day, yeah, you can get one of these as well. Look,
this guy loves it.
That's the closest. That is the closest either of you have got to it. That is literally.
I saw it in the office, man. I saw it.
Do you know what I mean? That literally is the closest you will ever get to it.
Oh, that's not even the official trophy, bro. Bez broke the real one, man.
Yeah. We know. Hey, I'm embargoed. I'm not allowed to say what really happened.
Okay. Well,
do you not think I would have come out and said by now if I was allowed to?
Yeah, of course you would have.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, listen, man, it's all fun and games, man. It's all banter and stuff, man. And at the end of the day, if you lot continue and you lot, I wish you all the best. But Blood Brothers free. I'll be entering a reserve team into it.
Hey, DT, you can't do that, man.
He's doing the reverse psychology thing, brother. You know what he's doing. I don't care about it now. I don't care.
Listen.
Exactly.
Listen.
I can't lie, yeah. I knew you were going to do this, yeah. I'm thinking, anyhow this guy wins, what he's going to do is never give us the chance to play them properly again. He just wants us to burn.
Yeah, that's what he'll do. He's going to put a weak team out, and then if we beat him, he'll say, that's my reserves. And if we lose, he'll go, I beat you with my reserves.
Listen. Let me explain something. I actually have a reserve team now. Yeah? I've already told the organizers I'm too busy doing what I'm doing with the first team that we won't be... No. I'm going to give an opportunity to a new bunch of players to go and impress, and what they will get out of that, because if they impress and they show that they can really play for this team and do what they do, then they can come and join the first team and they can come and play in the big leagues with us and be part of our journey. But I'm giving everyone else another chance. We've got trials sorted out. I'm giving people another chance. I'm going to give some people another chance. So you can play my B team.
Nah. You know what, though? When you play us, just come correct in it, because that's a derby game, innit?
I'm bringing my reserves.
Nah, don't do that. Don't do that.
Bro,
do that.
Listen to me. You lot will never, ever, ever get the better of me. All right? I got what I wanted. I got what I wanted. I came,
He's
I saw, I conquered.
always.
It was a fool, bro.
Fun. I don't need to do anything anymore. I've done what I needed to do. I'm happy. I'm blessed. I'm good. My reserves are play. And do you know the funniest thing? I will get my whole entire first team that you all know, and they will sit and watch the game. They will watch.
DT, you know I'll score, mate, against the reserves as well.
Yeah, I will back.
That's fine. That's fine. You can score. We'll score 5.
Kind of walked into that one, didn't it?
I walked into it. I knew he was going to do this anyway.
All I'm going to say, all I'm going to say is, right, is that I have built a reserve team and I will be playing reserve players, but don't think I haven't got a trick up my sleeve.
This guy loves it, bro.
All the time.
We had like a whole season of this with Blood Brothers. You don't know what I got planned. Like this, I'm thinking, bro, just shut up, man.
It'll be good to play against Adam anyway. It'll be good to play against Adam.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but he's part of my first team, so probably not.
All right, fair enough.
Sorry, boys. He obviously saw the light. He obviously saw the light very quickly. I think within 48 hours of the final finishing, he had messaged me to join.
No way. No way.
The best bit about it, I'm sorry, boys, but the best bit about it was when you had your team meal.
He's an idiot. I was thinking, what was that?
For everyone that's watching that don't understand, AFTV had a team meal. Now, this team meal was about, let's have a discussion. Let's, get it all out there. Let's air our grievances and let's move forward as a team. Adam was there talking about the future and the plans and moving forward. And on the Wednesday night, he was holding up a shirt. Welcome to DTFC.
He obviously had a bad meal, didn't he? And the last supper,
Yeah. That hurt me when he left, man. I can't lie.
Do you know what, though? He did deserve that move, though, because, he didn't. I was rated Adam, and he didn't really get the game time. I know he was traveling, he was trialing with certain teams and that. So I just think the circumstances didn't work for him. But I always rated him as a player, man. Nice left foot.
Yeah, he's a good player, man. He's a good player. He's a good player. So it's like, at the end of the day, he knows as well. I've spoken to him regular. He knows that, he's going to have to work hard to get a place into the team. You know how strong my midfield is. It's even stronger. There's a few surprises in store when we're allowed to reveal it. So the thing is, listen, I'm only letting you play my reserve team so you stand a chance.
Yeah, man, we beat you lot the first game, man. We bullied you that first game.
No. We just did not play our game. We didn't. We literally decided. We just decided
we game plan in that first game.
We just decided we wanted to fight. It was like literally our game plan. When you watch that game back, right? Our preparation was the worst preparation anyway, because we lost Kaz in centre midfield in the warm up and had to makeshift put him in at centre back because we lost Robbo in the warm up. So that threw things all over the place. And that's why, like, in the first 30 seconds when you scored, we were a bit all over the place because we were trying to work out our shape. And then the next 10, 15 minutes of the game, we regrouped and we was fine and we was playing the ball and everything was right. And we should have had a penalty when Ryan got taken in the area, but he only gave a free kick on the edge of the box where it should have been a penalty. And then Broads did what he did to Jake. And then what happened then was, and rightly or wrongly, what happened then was myself, my players, everybody just turned around and went, nah, fuck this. Let's just go and scrap them and let's just kick. And it ended up, do you know what the thing is, honestly, and When I watched that game back, that wasn't a football game. It wasn't a game of football. It was just two teams that wanted to kick lumps out of each other. That's what it was. And we lowered
That was
our...
an entertaining episode, though.
It was an entertaining episode, you know, but then we just decided and we said, and we had a long talk about it afterwards, and we were like, look, we know what we did wrong. We can't get embroiled in that again. We got caught up in the occasion. We won't do it again. And, you know, we played 12 games since that defeat, and we've won 11, drawn 1. So the players responded, you know, and we've beaten some big teams on the way. When we beat Madness as well, Madness are a naughty team. Madness are a very good team. Their midfield is disgusting. One of the best teams we've ever played against in terms of the way they play the ball around. They've got like England international in centre midfield and everything that plays. What's his name, man? Broads know who most of them boys are, but they're ballers, man. You know what I mean? And we've beaten good sides along the way, and we've done what we had to do. So, yeah, listen, we learned from it. We learned, but listen, if you lot play my first team, man, you get slapped.
I don't think so. I think what went wrong with us here is my audio good, yeah?
It's better now. Did you turn it down, yeah?
Yeah. Is it good now?
Yeah, it sounds all right. I can't hear no echo.
Oh, cool. Yeah, do you know what went wrong for us? I think particularly in the final was, like we said, preparation. Even just, we was constantly trying to play out from the back. It didn't work. Do you know what I mean? We're losing the ball way high up. I understand, yeah, you said, you know, you done a high press, but we should have took it upon ourselves to realize, like, if we keep playing at the back and we keep losing it, we're going to concede soon enough. Do you know what I mean? We weren't getting in people's face. We were scared to be physical, things like that. You know, Ayrton, credit to him. Do you know what I mean? Pretty established player in the league that he plays in. Just controlled it. You know, the ball's coming. He's holding off guys, you know, way bigger than him and whatnot. Like, we can't knock what you lot done there. But I think if we look at ourselves, that was probably one of our worst games ever. And we've played poor for a lot of games, you know. And even when we was on that like 10-game win streak or whatnot, we played extremely poor. But that was up there as probably the worst, if not one of the worst performances ever. But you lot played good.
Yeah. See, the thing is as well, though, is that we had a plan B for if you decided to go out of the press. So that's literally what our training sessions were all about, so that we could prepare for two scenarios. The players knew. And then after, you know, we even spoke about it at half time, some of the stuff that ain't on camera. And a lot of the players were like, they're not trying to play any differently. They're still trying to play out from the back.
Yeah.
We were like, okay, first 10 minutes of the second half, we think they might come out a little bit with a fire in their belly because, you know, you were only losing 2-1. The game should have been over. So I think that we were kind of like, okay, yeah, they'll come out a bit. And then nothing changed. Nothing changed. There was no real fight. There was no real like onslaught. There was no, you know, 15 minutes to go. I remember turning around to the linesman and going, how long's left? And I think it was just after Broads got subbed off. And it was like, I think there's about 12, 13 minutes to go. And we were all just looking at each other like, game's done. And there was no worry, no sense of like, oh my God, 10 minutes to go. They could nick one now because it was 3-1 at the time.
Yeah.
And I was like, game's done. Game's done. We literally, it was like we'd beat you into submission. We'd just constantly beat you that much. So the point, you was at a point where I think even your own players started to think to themselves, we ain't going to score. We can't break them down. What's the point?
Do you know what though? We weren't getting forward enough, man. Like, I remember sometimes they'll spray it to me on the wing, or they'll release Kane on the wing as well. And that's where we were starting to get forward a bit. But if we just don't use our wing play, then nothing was happening. That's how you scored the goal as well, Curtis, isn't it? Kane knocked one to you.
Yeah. Crossed it in, and but we didn't create a lot in the game at all, did we? Like, we never really looked like scoring that often. And just the whole game plan didn't work at all, really. When you look back at it,
the only thing that disappoints me when I look back on that whole game is that we didn't score double figures.
you had a lot of chances. To be fair, you had a lot.
Yeah, that's the only thing I can be critical of. That apart from that, everything went perfect. Sorry, boys.
Such a waste, man.
Hey, bros, I'm gonna bring you back in a bit, yeah, because again, it's getting bad, like echo on the sound, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me on, bro. You look blessed, yeah.
All day, bro.
Man, it's a lot Wi-Fi.
I know, man. I can't work with that inner city Wi-Fi, man. Using next door. So what? Just gonna finish on the Arsenal chat, man. What do you think for the rest of the season? And because you know what, Robbie was asking me a question the other day. He said, "Would you rather be, if we're not in the Champions League, would you rather be in the Europa League or out of all of it?"
I'd rather be out of all of it.
Would you?
Yeah, I've had enough of the Europa League now. I've had enough of the anthem. I've had enough of traveling.
I don't even know what the anthem is. Like, I don't even know.
Mate, my son plays it.
Oh, does he?
I mean? Yeah, if he goes on FIFA, he joins the Europa League tournament because that's all he fucking knows.
No,
I'm not having it.
Man.
I'm not having it. I'm not having it, man. It's pissed me right off. Do you know what I mean?
I don't even know the Europa League anthem.
Mate, listen, the problem is because he goes to all the games with me. So it's like, you know what I mean? And it's, I would rather be out of it. I'm done traveling to places I can't pronounce, and it's like -20.
Ostersund and all them places.
Mate, I'll take Bayern Munich again. That 5-1 don't even look bad anymore. Do you know what I mean? Just get me back.
You weren't saying that at the time.
No, I weren't at the time, but I wasn't expecting to go into there. But I want to go and play. I want to go back to Stade de France and play PSG again. I want to go back to the Nou Camp and play Barcelona and all that. I want to see the best players. I want, you know what I mean? I want to just be a part of what we moved to the Emirates for, which is to be in the big competition, to compete with the big teams, not to be competing in the Europa League. You know, with all due respect to the teams that we've been playing in there, but I don't want to be playing in that competition. So if it ain't the Champions League, I'd rather be out of it a year. I think it might do us good.
You think?
Yeah, it did good. It done good for Chelsea, didn't it?
Yeah, I mean, they won the league that year, didn't they? But do you know one thing I wanted to ask you, right? Obviously, you was very, how should we say, when Wenger towards the end, you was very, you was very much giving your opinion that you wanted him out the door, shall we say. I'm saying this in a calm manner now, because this is like, why do you think that the fans don't put that kind of energy towards the owner? Because to me, I don't think Stan Kroenke is running this this club very well. Like, why do you think? Why are the fans not putting heat on the owner?
You know what it is? Because he's hardly there, first and foremost. So there's no point in doing a protest to someone that's not going to see it. Wenger was very easy to get to because he's the manager and he's the one. And you got to remember at the time as well, Arsene Wenger had players. He had Alexis Sanchez and a prime Mesut Ozil and Santi Cazorla and all the rest of it. But they decided not to strengthen and have just Olivier Giroud. That season, Leicester won the league, And I remember Giroud went 18 games or something without a goal, wasn't it? And messed everything up. That was firing that year. If we had Aubameyang that season, we'd have won a league.
100%. That was our title.
All we needed. That was all we needed, because what won Leicester the league was Jamie Vardy and his goal. Do you know what I mean? So all we needed was a proper goal scorer. But we had Olivier Giroud, beanpole, waste man.
He killed us that year, man.
No, man, I can't. Listen, man, don't get me started on Olivier Giroud, man.
I'm going to finish off with, I got one more question for you, right? And this is a debate that's been going on, right? are Arsenal still a massive club? Do we still appeal to the top players though?
Of course we are. We're first and foremost, we're in London. Believe it or not, a location is very important to a player.
Yeah.
And London, it's the big city, man. Do you know what I mean? So we've got that appeal. We're still the most successful team in London. Fact, we won more trophies than any other London team. We have the history. We have the, history does play a part on a lot of the players as well, because a lot of these players would have grown up seeing Bergkamps, Henrys, and people like that. And you see these players mentioning those players all the time about ones that before. And so, growing up, a lot of these players weren't, tuning in to watch Sean Goater at Man City. Do you know what I mean? The only reason they're going there is because of money. But we've still got, of course, we're a big club. We're the third biggest club in England. Yeah, it's Liverpool,
United and Liverpool.
It's Man United, Liverpool, and then Arsenal. We're the only three teams that have won the league title more than 10 times. Liverpool have won it 19 at the moment. We've won it 13. So,
yeah,
man, there's people. Look, every football club goes through a bad period during their history. It happens. Manchester United, before Sir Alex Ferguson come along, went 26 years without a league title. Liverpool have gone 30 years without a league title until now. It happens. It happens. This it's all part and parcel. You will never dominate football throughout eternity, season after season. You're going to have periods. We're having our period now. Before George Graham come along, we had a period. We hadn't won the league since 71. And then we won it again in 89. So we've had these periods. Every club's had these periods. But for anyone to turn around and say you're not a big club anymore, get in the bin, man. Get in the bin, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks for coming on, bro. It's been a good one. I didn't even realize we'd been on that long, but it's been a good one. I appreciate it.
No, man, it's good. It's good to talk, man. It's good to talk about football and just take your mind away from the realities of what's going on in the world at the moment, man. You know what I mean? And it's
crazy.
Listen, it's not just America. I want people to realize that, this issue of racism is not just in America, it's around the world. We've got the same, maybe not to the extent of the American police force, but we still have it in the UK police force.
Of course.
We see black people losing their lives at the hands of the police in this country. And it's something that's got to change. And, too many times we've seen, the police doing something to a black man or whatever it may be. And there might be some uproar for a period and then it dies down. And then it always creeps back in eventually. I hope that this time, this was the straw that broke the camel's back, where everyone finally went, no, we're done now. We're going to fight back. And you see a lot of black people saying that our ancestors, they never fought back. They couldn't fight back. There weren't enough of them. They were made to do what they had to do and everything else. But this generation will fight back. There's enough of them to fight back. And what I like to see as well is white people, they're actually joining with them. Because even white people have had enough. Even white people, they're like, look, I've had enough of it. I'm bored of turning on the news and seeing someone killed. For what reason? For a petty crime in a store, a traffic violation. Petty stuff, losing a life because of the color of your skin. And then you see, mass shootings in schools, and you see it's a white person. And they're being walked out. They're being walked out. They just walked through a school killing 30, 40 people with machine guns and whatnot. And the police are walking them out with handcuffs in front of them. Like they've just nicked a lollipop. You can guarantee if that was a black man running in that school and killing everyone,
he's done, mate.
bag.
Yeah, he's not even coming out. I mean, the thing for me, look, just quickly, like I've got 2 kids, and for me, I look at it like it ain't gonna change for me, but we need to change it for them. And this isn't blacks against whites. It's trying to eradicate racism in general. It's not a racial issue in terms of blacks against whites. There's good and bad in every race.
Of course.
But the people have to take a stand now and get things changed. And I hope that this is the action now that gets things changed, man, because it's now or never. And when will it change if it doesn't change now?
It is, and it's with everything as well. And it's, listen, at the end of the day, I've got 2 of my nephews are black, my niece is black, and it's like, one of them's the age of my 9-year-old boy, and 2 of them are near my 4-year-old boy's age. And I sit there and think, like, they're blood related, they're family, but yet will my son be treated differently just because his skin color is white? Will he get non-discriminated, shall we say, or profiled just because of his skin color while he's growing up? Yet what people don't realize is that they're blood, they're related, they're family, they're human above all. So it's like you're saying, you want to know that your generation, your children and your children's children can feel like, you know what I mean? I want people to be treated for what they've done, not because of what color their skin is. I want you, if you commit a crime, treat that person for the crime they've committed. Don't treat them for the crime because of the color of their skin. Doesn't matter whether you're white, black, purple, yellow, whatever it is. You commit a crime, treat the same. Same with anything, man. Do you know what I mean?
And that's all it is.
That is all it is. That is all it is. And, at the end of the day, the other thing as well, I'll quickly touch on is that, racism is not, you're not born with racism. You're not born a racist, sorry. That's something that you've learned. And I think that families and parents can teach their children and stuff like that. My 4-year-old, his best friend called Henry lives around the corner from the house. They both go to each other's house. He's black. I chat to his mum and dad all the time. My boy goes to his house. His boy comes to mine. They've been chatting on FaceTime the last 3 months. And all they talk about is how much they just want to play football together again. There's no, they're young, they're innocent. There's no looking and going, you're black, you're white, you're this, you're that, you're different. It's, you're me.
You're friend. Yeah, you're a good person. Yeah.
You're my friend. All I want to do is play football with you. I don't care what color you are. So it's instilled into people, and the sooner we get to the bottom of everything and we flush out those people, especially the racists that are in power, because they're the most dangerous. Yeah, the ones that are in power. And it's, yeah, man. That's, I don't think it will change in my lifetime, sadly. You know what I mean? But I think that we can now make the right steps for it to change. And football's a good one. Football's a good way of doing it. But at the same time, we've still got problems in football. Tottenham fans throwing a banana at Aubameyang. Koulibaly and whatnot in Italy getting monkey chants at him and stuff.
Sterling with the Chelsea fans, exactly.
So it's a problem worldwide, and it's what we need to eradicate as one. Yeah. And hopefully we can live in a world where we turn on the news and it's good things, nice things.
Let's hope so, man. Let's hope so. I appreciate you coming on, bro. Take care of yourself. We'll stay in contact anyway, as we do. And man. Well done on getting nominated as well, man. Best influence.
And you, man. And you as well, man. That'd be good. Yeah. It'd be good. It'd be a good night. So no doubt you're going to come down there.
Yeah, I'll go there.
Yeah, we'll go there. Cause some problems down at Tottenham Stadium.
And that's it.
You know what I mean? I'm going to see where I can sneak off to in the stadium. I'm going to try and find their I'm going to try and find their trophy cabinet.
The Audi Cup will be in there, Remember the Audi Cup?
Wait, I might take this down and ask if they want to put it in there. You want to borrow it, lads?
Put something in there, innit?
Oh,
Big up, man. Big up everyone in the comments. Big up my bro, AD Francis, Music Man A in the comments. Big up Broads for coming on. Jibs. Who else was in there? Omar. Sonny was on there. Big up everyone in the comments, man. DT,
Yeah, man.
take care of yourself. I'll be back next time. Everyone take care. Bless.